Yellow diamonds on my neck and wrist, match this yellow bitch. Shorty, she the shit. She know she the shit. If you don't buy her what she want, then I throw a fit. Shorty need this shit, but I'm super thick and I act silly like a kid. Give me candy sticks. Since legit, I've been swinging dick, Gucci in the street. I met her in night too. See, I let her join my group. I know she not a groupie, so I let her in my group. I snatch her in my finger while I snatch her in my tire. Susie is the money maker, but that bitch a liar. Hey, hey, hey. Shawty singing like Mariah, singing like the choir, better. Yeah, my name is Susie, and Gucci think I love her. That sucker think I'm loyal, but I fucks without a hustler. I be without the ballers, I be at all the spots. I might be in your kitchen, nigga, cooking with your pops. I think I love you. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. I think I love you. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't. Y'all, he think he love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. He think he love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't. Y'all, he think he love me. She's sweet, but she stings her irate. Two-piece, she down piece, and jeans, they dead meat. She sweet, she so deep, she read with good teeth. 2 jobs, she get cheese. Her days on my treat. How neat, she loves to eat. We eat, bon appetit. We feed, she's so neat, and like me, she's so good. I rate top, but I run the block. This bitch is so hot. My clip is post shot. My wrist froze with rocks. I cop all the drops. I roll all the knots. The half knots. Golden locks. I'm Susie Sarah, got a click, clap, pop, pop, pop. I think I love you. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. I think I love you. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. He think he love me. Nigga, you don't love me. Hey, you don't love me. Nigga, you don't love me. He think he love me. Hey, you don't love me. Hey, you don't love me. Hey, you don't love me. I think I love him. What's going on, conscious motherfucking crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the platform. Vacation was amazing. And bitch, it was well deserved, okay? Because the hoe been putting in that mother-loving work, girl. Working for the white man in the city, bitch. Big wheels keep on turning. Baby, content keep on spurring. And we rolling and uploading to the stream service. We uploading to the stream service. Baby, a bitch was putting in a motherfucking work. But I'm happy to be back, girl. Back to regular, degular content creating. Okay, I know I missed you guys too, baby. I hope you guys had a wonderful week, okay? My week was intense and crazy as hell, baby. Baby, a bitch was all in Dubai, bitch. Eating all type of expensive ass octopus and shit, bitch. Getting my grill made, honey. Okay, dressed like money, honey. Okay, and it was kind of a sacred trip, girl. You know, I give a lot of myself away to social media. So to actually be able to disconnect and go into my actual life and just live and have something that belongs to me that really balances out this whole, this whole lifestyle that I'm living, okay, between work and personal. I am not one of those like Instagram bitches who likes to upload everything and everyone. With me being a part of social media and having to deal so much with social media, I actually like having a private life. I like keeping things to myself. I like being able to have a space in my life where I exist without to just be able to exist outside of the content creating space. And I don't want to make my real life content, okay? So the things that I do outside of social media, they become portraits that I post on my walls and in my home, and they become things that are very intimate and shared between my loved ones and my friends and my family, etc. And I just love that balance. The more that I do this, the better I get at this, and I'm able to find healthy ways to have my cake and eat it too. But this ain't about that, bitch, okay? That's a video for another day. You guys know what we're here to get into, girl. You know we have been keeping up with this Monique and DL Hughley drama, the saga, baby, that has been playing out throughout the Pride Month. God damn it, okay? Monique and DL just took over Pride, baby, okay? So July, we doing Pride Month all over again, bitch, okay? These straight folk toe up above. That was supposed to be for LGBT folk and their allies, girl, okay? So we gonna have a redo in July, girl. We're gonna be celebrating happy gay LGBTQIA plus Pride all month long for July. If you fuck it up, baby, we're gonna be right back in August, September, October, November, baby, until we get our rightful slice of the goddamn pie. But before we get into the minutia and the thick of this commentary, as my boy YB Entertainment would say, please go ahead and thumbs up this video. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, child. I know I've been gone for 6 days, girl, but y'all ain't forgot the routine, child. You got to thumbs up the video. This helps with YouTube's algorithm, girl. It helps these YouTube CEOs, okay, to recommend and suggest and to give free full promotion to the goddamn platform and teams, okay? You got to make sure that you also subscribe and share. Welcome to all of the new subbies, girl. I see we at that 33.5K, bitch. Okay, bitch, we growing even when I ain't here, honey, okay? Because that's what it gives over here in the Consciouztv nation, girl. And that is also in part to all the support you guys give to me, okay? I want to also shout out my Patreon members, girl. Thank you. I love you guys. I'm working on so much shit right now. I'm so mad that I'm so delayed, but when you are a one-man army, girl, it just takes time to get some shit in order. But nonetheless, girl, we are motherfucking working. Everybody need to make sure that they have their notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be kinging. All donation information is always scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You can also find all donation, email, Patreon links, etc. in the description box of each video. That is where all the info will be. Matter of fact, let me go ahead real quick, girl. Let me go ahead real quick. Hold on. Because I think my boo Joyce had cash at me, girl, while I was on my little mini vacation, y'all, okay? Showing the king loving teens. Honey. I will be dropping the link so you guys can also chime in, girl, and get your live, honey, give your thoughts and your opinions about Miss Monique. I also want to say happy Father's Day to all of the amazing fathers who are providing good dick, quality roofing, housing, and utilities, girl, treating a woman's right and raising their kids appropriately. So shout out to all of the good quality, big dick black fathers in the world, baby, okay, who is slaying this thing, okay, leaving these goddamn simps behind, baby. Happy Father's Day to ya, baby. Oh, yes, Miss Joyce, honey, thank you for your cash donation on Friday. God, D-Love. Thank you for sowing your seed into the ministry, baby. Y'all have no idea how much these donations grow. These donations grow. Okay, these donations grow. They be hitting, baby. Okay, baby. And a bitch is able to motherfucking upgrade and go to higher heights and new levels with all of your support, girl. I don't know where my ancestry accent done came from, girl, but I might be talking like an old nasty piece of African girl for the rest of this goddamn commentary. Okay, yeah, Ebony, yes, and I missed y'all too, girl. I miss y'all. But with no further ado, girl, let's run this old beautiful being intro, girl, and let's get into it.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, girl, let me speak to my folk, girl, before we get started. Hey, Nicole, what's going on, love? What's going on, Mr. and Mrs. Oz? Hi. What's going on, Joyce? This is my cash donator. Thank you, Joyce. God bless you, girl. What's going on, Kiwana? What's going on, Cooper's Kitchen and Talk? What's going on, Dorsey? Hey, Jackie. What's going on, Brielle? What's going on, Humboldt? Hi, what's going on to my beautiful classic queen? What's going on, Toolbox Evolution? Hi, Brown Sugar. Hey, Cheryl. What's going on, Tracy? Hey, Honeybee. What's going on, Lovely Day? What's going on, Used to Be the Sweetest Girl? What's going on, Trisha? What's going on, Dancing with Nature? Hi, Jose's Point of View. What's going on, Queen Pisces? What's going on, Saint? Sion. What's going on to my beautiful Jace? Hey, love. What's going on to Lala? What's going on, Chain Breaker? Okay, in the name of the Black Jesus. Okay, what's going on to Iced Latte? What's going on to Riri? What's going on to Lovely Day One? What's going on, Yellow Pill Coffee? CTV turn. I've been gone too long, Yellow Pill. I've been gone too long. Okay, now I'm back with the motherfucking jump off. Period. What's going on, Trey? What's going on, R&B? What's going on, Serenity? What's going on, CJ's daughter? CJ's daughter? Girl, is you my ex-boyfriend's daughter, honey? I know that whore was still whoring, girl. I hope that ain't your father on Father's Day, because that nigga is trash, okay? What's going on, now, love? What's going on? Hi, love, and other problems. Jesus. Not problems, child. What's going on to my beautiful Ray? Hi, what's going on? Hold on, make sure I got everybody going. What's going on, Ken Goddess? What's going on, Alexis Thomas? Hi, hey, everybody. What's going on, Samantha? Oh, nasty piece of Samantha in the house, girl. What's going on, Big Mama? Hey, love. What's going on, Ebony, honey? Miss Adams, child. She just took, girl, old nasty piece of Eve that made Adam's first name her last, bitch. That's what I call feminism, girl. What's going on? I am Brooks. Hey, love. What's going on, Kim D? Hi. What's going on? Why you bother? I don't know why you bother. You got to tell me why you bother. What's going on, Miss Aquarius? What's going on, Destiny's Diamond Child? What's going on, Fake? Okay, girl. So, hey, Cat Mouse. Hey, WNK. Hey, everybody. Hey, Heart of Inspiration. Hey, Boo. And happy Juneteenth as well, okay? It's a lot going on. I didn't know this much shit was jumbled up and nested up and knotted up into Pride Month, girl. Father's Day, Juneteenth, girl, gay pride, child. The gays can't never have shit to their damn self. Another video for another day. What's going on, Lizzo? So you guys know that we have been covering, girl, this whole situation with Monique and DL Hughley, girl. They have been throwing jabs and tearing each other's wigs and toupees and follicles and extensions and fusions and eyelashes out of each other's damn eyeballs and shit, girl. It's been just a big old terrible mix-up, girl, that has social media split down the complete damn middle, okay? There were certain things that Monique did throughout the course of beefing with DL Hughley over this month that put a really sour, bitter taste in the mouths of some of her fans and also her critics, okay? Specifically, when it came to her utilizing a clip where DL was using a situation where he didn't believe his underage daughter about a sexual assault experience she had with another fellow kid from the neighborhood who DL was fond of. DL had spoke about this situation in a teachable moment kind of a way, in a way of expressing remorse and talking about his blind spots as a man, etc. Okay. And there were people who just were not here for that shit. Okay. There was lots of conversations that got had. Of course, DL's oldest daughter responded and basically asked Monique and Daddy to pull the fuck up, baby, for the beat down and the stuff down of it all. Something that DL Hughley initially was up to, but apparently there was breakdown, okay, after Monique had talk with the daughter, baby. I'm not pulling up to your Section 8 housing, but what I will do is I will grace your father on his public platform, girl, and we will have the bounty hunters and the FBI and the proper security in place in case I have to whip off in your motherfucking ass, okay? That's what we will do, girl, so there can be accountability, baby. You're not about to sit me on them damn sofas, girl, and be pulling out goddamn grenades and shit because you don't like what the hell I'm saying in teams, okay? So if you want to get into some teams, baby, okay, if you wanna know how the Queens of Comedy gets down, sugar, okay, then we can grace your father's platform. But despite all that DL Hughley's daughter said about how what Monique did and what she shared and what she implied and how far she went would not break her family, that her family is tight-knit, that they are ride or dies. Allegedly, there was some type of a breakdown because DL retracted that sit-down invitation and came back swinging, calling Monique a monster, which made me assume that the daughter who this situation and experience belonged to, she must have been really hurt behind this. And when DL had to cuddle his daughter and apologize to her and deal with whatever emotionality she was experiencing, girl, he must have really, really, really took it even more personal and said, fuck Monique, she's a monster, I want nothing else to do with you, etc. So the opportunity to sit down and to clear this thing on a public level was something that was aborted, okay? Now, amidst all of this going on, girl, Miss Monique, the Queen of Comedy herself, has issued somewhat of an apology, which we're going to get into. But Monique is also kind of having the best week of her life because her settlement with the streaming platform Netflix also seemingly went in her goddamn favor, girl. So we're going to get into a few of those things. Now, before we get into those things, baby, okay, she should put her sister on no contact, baby. I'm sure that's already the case, honey. What you mean by 64 mil toolbox evolution? Anything you start an apology with, if that's not an apology. Oh, we're gonna get into it now. So I'm gonna share. First thing we want to do is let's start with 50 Cent, girl, because it's been allegedly stated that 50 Cent, girl, put Monique up to apologize, and so some people feel like this is a courtesy apology, girl. Some people feel like, she only doing this, girl, to keep things straight between her and 50, who, has hired her to play in some of his Illuminati projects, girl. And we're going to get into his initial response to the feud between Monique and DL Hughley, okay? So this article is from allhiphop.com, and it reads, 50 Cent shows love to Monique amid her DL Hughley feud, okay? All is well between 50 and Monique, the article reads. 50 Cent confirms he's still on good terms with Monique in Twitter post on Friday, June 3rd. The G-Unit boss shared his comments alongside a video of the comedian praising him amid her feud with DL Hughley. At Mo Worldwide, he writes, I love you guys too. 50 Cent wrote, quote, let's progress at a pace they haven't seen before. Work like we gotta make up for lost time. The best way to get back at anyone you feel did you wrong is to do good. So here it is, 50. Curtis Jackson is echoing the sentiments of Beyonce, who says, bitch, that the best revenge is that Netflix settlement. Oh, girl. 50 Cent previously went out of his way to advocate for Monique, who claimed she'd been blackballed in Hollywood. He hired her for his Star series, BMF, and confronted Tyler Perry about Monique's lack of opportunities in the industry. Now, let me tell you something about 50 Cent. 50 Cent gets on my damn nerves sometimes. He is a goddamn cyber fucking troll and can be very annoying. But I got to give this big dick black man his goddamn roses on this here Father's Day for actually giving this black woman an opportunity, curving all of the goddamn bullshit that the black Satanist girl tried to do to her career, girl, and confronting other men on behalf of this woman, despite her having a man who could do that all by himself. So shout out to 50 Cent for giving this black woman a bag, giving her a chance, and choosing to stand in the gap, literally, between her and her fellow opponents and enemies. That man deserves his goddamn dick sucked. 50 Cent previously went out of his way to advocate for Monique, who claimed that she had been blackballed in Hollywood. He hired her for his Star series BMF and confronted Miss Perry about Monique's lack of opportunities in the industry. Earlier this week, Monique discussed her appreciation for 50 Cent in an Instagram video about her beef with DL Hughley. She took issue with people accusing her of not being grateful for the rapper's support. Quote, I want to talk right to our baby, from one black woman to that beautiful, pure-hearted black man, she said. And let me be clear, I'm saying Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is of pure heart. So when y'all get to talking about, oh, 50 you next, that's a man, that's a king. He's of pure heart, baby, and he's principled. She continued, quote, see, we have conversations offline and people got to saying she ain't thank 50. She ain't say nothing to 50. We don't have to have our relationship online, and that brother ain't said nothing when people tried to turn that thing into something ugly that it was not. So again, for you, brother Curtis, we love you and we support you getting your cock sucked, okay? Now, 50 Cent, as you guys see, he went on to post that live, girl, that we reviewed, that initial live that Monique and Daddy had did and everything, girl, addressing DL Hughley's bald-headed whole shit, okay? So, people been saying, girl, that she straightened up for 50. Well, you know, that's the power of love and proximity, baby, okay? You know, everybody got to have a mentor. Everybody got to have a guiding light. Everybody got to have somebody in their life who they are willing to adhere to and consider the plight of outside of self, okay? So if 50 Cent is that for Monique, okay, if she was able to hear something that he said and it impressed upon her heart and gave her a conviction to do something that somewhere inside of her she believed was the right thing to do, then so the fuck be it. That doesn't make it any less sincere because she might have needed help to get to her enlightened place, okay? Now, speaking of that goddamn apology, baby, it's also gotten mixed reviews by the public, okay? Now, this article is from hotnewhiphop.com, and it reads, Monique publicly apologizes to DL Hughley and his family following their online feud, okay? The beef between Monique and DL might finally be laid to rest, being that Mo has apologized publicly. The feud between comedians Monique and DL Hughley has been broadcasted on social media for nearly a month now. It might have started as a simple contract dispute, but over time, it got much deeper than that. Insults were thrown at each other and families were brought into the mix. Nonetheless, after countless back and forwards and backwardsness, it looks as if Monique is ready to bury the hatchet, okay, now you guys see, this was one of her original Instagram postings, girl, where she shared that situation, girl, that stirred up everybody, where DL was talking about his daughter's situation, okay? At some point, the article goes on to say, during their long-winded bickering, Mo decided to bring up DL's parenting skills. The 54-year-old attacked Hughley for his lack of effort in exposing the man that allegedly violated his daughter. After social media users jumped down her throat, the Almost Christmas actress uploaded a video in hopes to defend herself, saying that she was standing up for little girls with fathers like DL. Aside from the raging people online, people close to Monique threw shots at her too. DL described her as a monster. His daughter threatens to meet her in person, and Mo's own sister urged her to stop the madness. I want Monique's sister to tell her brother to stop the touching, okay? With critics coming at her from every angle, Monique decided that it was time to take accountability and issue an apology. Video footage captured Monique on stage at an event. While speaking to the audience, she said, quote, I like to consider myself a woman of honor, so I've got to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. Following her introduction, she went on to say to DL's Hughley's family, I want to publicly apologize if I've hurt anyone's feelings because that was not my intention. As of now, DL has yet to respond, but you can watch the entire clip below. And we're going to do just that courtesy of the Shade Room, okay? Before we get to going on this old nasty piece, girl. On this old nasty piece of footage, girl. Y'all know I got to run the YouTube disclaimer, chill. Okay? Let me see if I can find it here, girl. Instagram need to create another feature, girl, that allows us to just go straight to us specific damn post, girl, because you've got to literally scrummage through individually, girl, to get there, honey. And y'all know these goddamn blog sites, they post 20 million damn times a damn day, girl. So you are scrolling eternally, child. Let me see where this thing gal, here it is. Okay. Okay, thumbs up this motherfucking video if you're in the goddamn building. Thank you. Thank you, baby. Okay. Now let me run this old nasty piece of YouTube, girl. Disclaimer here. Hold on. Hold on. Am I following the Shade Room? You know, I don't follow Sin, but, you know, I am reporting on it, so I probably need to. Okay, girl, disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and that old nasty piece of research, girl. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, so let's go ahead and run it. Now, guys, make sure that you guys have your earphones turned up till it's stuck, okay? And if you can hear this, please give me an old nasty piece of one. Wait a minute, girl. I can't even hear it, girl. What is T, honey? Where's the old nasty piece of volume at, girl? Hold on. I might gotta run it from the website, child. I get high. Hold on, girl. Okay? If you can hear this, give me an old nasty piece of one.
And I like to consider myself a woman of honor. So I've got to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. And when I I've got to fix it up. So I'm going to take it right now. Okay. To DL Hughley's family, I want to publicly apologize. If I hurt anyone's feelings.
Okay, we're gonna get into that. Hold on. Monique posted and okay, so that's going back. Okay, so what you guys just heard, girl, yeah, it was going in and out because the Shade Room had put up a censored version of that video, so they was trying to block out all of the cursing and cussing and profanity and things. But what Monique basically said was that she apologized to the family, to the wife, to the children, but she still got that DL nigga on her motherfucking hit list, okay? But she wanted to specifically apologize to all of the casualties of this war between her and DL Hughley, okay? Because the children and the wife and all of them people ain't have nothing to do with these things. So anybody who got fucked up, ran over, bulldozed, pow over, okay, doing her exchange with DL Hughley, she wants to make a sincere apology too, because that was not her intention. All of her bow and arrows, all of her goddamn bullets was designed for the DL. Okay? How do I feel about that apology? I feel like if Monique felt like it was the right thing to do, it was the right thing to do. You guys know that I never felt like her posting the infamous interview that DL did about his daughter was actually about the daughters. I do understand them being triggered up about it resurfacing, but I'm also confused about them being triggered up because I assume that DL would not have even brought a situation like that to the public, especially as a public figure, without everything being fine and healed up on the back end, because that's a very serious thing to bring up. Obviously, the daughter would probably have her fair share of trauma and issues around her experience. And so I had just naturally assumed that when he said it out loud and talked to Sway or whomever the hell he was talking to, okay, that everything was all right on the back end, okay? Because I would have never shared something like that if my daughter was not ready for whatever came with bringing awareness to a situation like that, girl. So yeah, no, that was that. But I think sometimes a bigger sign of maturity is not necessarily being perfect, but actually being able to recover from your imperfections is a bigger testament to character. So the fact that Monique was able to apologize, she was able to say sorry to the wife, say sorry to the daughter, etc. I think that was really, 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 really queenish of her. It was really royale and divine goddess of her, honey. I'm loving it, baby. And you know what? Monique is probably it's probably very easy to apologize because she just got that old nasty piece of Netflix settlement, baby. Okay, y'all know when black people get money, baby, we don't mind taking accountability, baby. We don't mind repenting, girl. We go to church like we supposed to, child. You know, long as the bag is right, baby. That character gonna be clean across the board, baby. She ain't got no reason to hold those grudges, baby, because Miss Monique is winning. So speaking of her goddamn winning, you guys know that Monique also had pressed on Netflix Net, girl, regarding some discriminatory practices that she believed was at work, okay? When they had the unmitigated gall to offer her $500,000 measly dollars, okay, for a 2-year contract producing intellectual property and content for the streaming platform, girl. Y'all know she felt that there was gender and racial bias involved, girl. Well, Monique has settled out of court with Netflix. Now, this particular article, girl, comes courtesy of AtlantaBlackStar.com, and its caption sounds like a check or special. Monique and Netflix settled gender and race discrimination lawsuit. Netflix has reached a settlement agreement with Monique, who filed a discrimination lawsuit she filed against the streaming service in 2019. Now, to be honest, girl, I didn't know that Monique was had even gotten a lawsuit started against Netflix, girl. I know that she was raising hell, girl, okay, and she was calling for boycotting and protesting, but I had no idea that a legitimate lawsuit had been generated, girl. The veteran comedian sued for gender and racial bias, alleging she received a lowball offer for a special compared to other comedians who are either white or male. Many recall Netflix walking away from Oscar-winning actress for protesting their offer of $500,000 in 2017. The suit also names Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer, and other comedians who received large payouts in the suit. As previously reported, Schumer received $13 million for hers, while Chappelle and Rock earned $20 million for theirs. Monique also accused the platform of underpaying Black women. The Hollywood Reporter obtained court documents filed in Los Angeles U.S. District Court that state the case has been dismissed. Monique made a lot of noise in the industry after asking fans to boycott out Netflix in 2018. Shortly after, fellow comedian Wanda Sykes revealed she took her comedy special to another platform, Apex, after Netflix offered her less than half of $500,000. Wow. A year later, Netflix released a stand-up special titled Wanda Sykes Not Normal. In 2020, Monique landed her first victory against Netflix after a judge denied their motion to dismiss her case. Afterwards, a number of highly influential people in the television industry have voiced their support for her, including TV and music mogul 50 Cent, who offered her a role on his Star Series BMF. So this is what I find to be interesting. Remember when Monique was on the Breakfast Club talking to Angela Yee, and Angela Yee had asked her, why is it that whenever she shows up in a space, there's always noise and static and drama connected to her presence? And Monique had said, well, that's because, first of all, it's the bullies who are always running their fucking mouth. And for two, yeah, if you confront the powers that be, you can basically expect there to be backlash, okay? And she also spoke about how a lot of people have been dealing with a lot of exploitation and abuse and mistreatment in the industry, but refuse to speak out and to speak in a transparent way because they don't want to lose their opportunities and they don't want to lose their jobs, because Hollywood is heavily predicated not upon talent, but upon relationships. It's not about how good you are, but about who you know. You guys probably have heard the sentiment throughout the years, you know, that the industry is relational, baby, okay? You need cosigns. You need people to speak up for you. You need people to open the door for you. You need friends in higher places. You heavily depend on relationships, the people who have already made it in order to have leverage, okay? So it's interesting that when Monique went to speak publicly about Netflix, went to speak publicly about Tyler, about Oprah, etc., that it wasn't until she started speaking publicly that other fellow Black female and male actresses, comedians, etc., stood behind Monique, which is also very telling and very unfortunate that everybody knows what goes on and everybody knows about the role that race plays in the industry, the roles that gender play in the industry, and deal with the onslaught of abuse and alienation and difficulty that comes when you are a minority class within that industry, and then to only have the balls to say something or to co-sign something when someone else puts their shit on the line. This is why I got a lot of respect for Monique, because it wasn't just about what Monique was saying that was true and what she was doing that was honorable, but I looked at all the people who co-signed after Monique and was like, hey, people can say a lot about the way she goes about delivering her gospel, but I have to stand behind the gospel because the woman ain't telling no damn lies. She ain't telling no motherfucking lies. So you can hate the delivery, but the point is the point. You can hate the execution, baby, but the point is the goddamn point, okay? And I can only imagine what it was like to be Monique and to have people agreeing with you after the fact, having people tap dance and shoe shine to save their ass while secretly calling you and texting you, rooting for you, standing behind you, girl, encouraging you, girl. You got to be the sacrificial goddamn lamb. Okay? Very Twilight Zone-ass experience. But look at what this part of the article says. Afterwards, a number of highly influential people in the television industry have voiced their support for her, including one of those notable people, 50 fucking Cent. 50 fucking Cent. Okay? So Monique might have led the charge, baby, but like Monique said to Charlamagne, you know that what I'm saying ain't nothing new, baby. You know this. When Viola Davis said it, baby. Was she the donkey of the day? Was your mother a donkey of the day? Period. As news about Monique's settlement circulated online, fans reacted in the comments of the Neighborhood Talk post. A few contended that the dismissal of the lawsuit likely means she accepted a large payout or an upcoming special. Here's what a few had to say. Quote, Are y'all blind or unable to comprehend an article? They settled with her so that the lawsuit would be dismissed, which means sis got a check. Someone else said they paid her to get her off their back. She was getting too many big names to step out and support, i.e. Wanda 50, etc. Somebody else wrote she got paid under the table. Somebody else wrote sounds like a check or special. Someone else wrote cheaper to break her off a few mil than have the details of all your business deals dragged throughout the court system. Now, this also was Monique's initial sound off to the public regarding boycotting Netflix. Listen to this and take a trip down memory lane.
For gender bias and color bias, I was offered a $500,000 deal last week to do a comedy special. However, Amy Schumer was offered $11 million, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle $20 million. Then Amy Schumer went back and renegotiated $2 more million because she said I shouldn't get what the men are getting their legends. However, I should get more, and Netflix agreed. When we asked Netflix to explain the difference, why the money was so different, they said, well, we believe that's what money will bring. We said, well, what about my resume? They said, we don't go off of resumes. Then we asked them, what was it about Amy Schumer? And they said, well, she sold out Madison Square Garden twice, and she had a big movie over the summer. Is that not Amy Schumer's resume? And then Netflix said, by the way, we believe Monique is a legend too. Why should I get with the legends again? Please stand with me in this boycott of Netflix. I love us from free.
There it is, girl. Many came to Monique's defense and applauded the 50-year-old for speaking up, despite people who often called her problematic. One person wrote, they were trying to lowball her. Let's be honest, people. I'm speaking for the ones who always calling her problematic, when all she's doing is standing up for herself because the industry has blackballed and bullied her for a decade now. A second person said, it's the way this lady has not lied yet. Everybody that plays her with losses in the end and admits they were wrong. And that's on period, girl. Y'all remember, baby, when Kaya and my baby mother TS, baby, was talking all that shit, baby, and Monique only came through with a virtual feature, baby, and had destroyed the whole goddamn set, baby, destroyed the whole goddamn friendship between Kia and T.S. Madison, baby. That's how I knew that Miss Monique was fucking around with that Caribbean hoodoo girl, okay? Then it was the way that Damon Dash ran up on Lee Daniels and publicly embarrassed and humiliated his ass, girl, by putting up on his ass in the cafeteria line asking for his goddamn $2 million, bitch. Because while you around here trying to drag Miss Monique, bitch, for not wanting to work for free, girl, you sure got time to be running your ass away from what the fuck you owe me, baby, acting like your ass ain't got dick, acting like your ass ain't paying your motherfucking delinquent bills, bitch, while you got all this motherfucking shoe shining, all this motherfucking shit to talk about this motherfucking black woman, bitch. You damn sure ain't got my motherfucking coin home, so let's talk about that, baby. Well, y'all want to be dragging everybody else, girl, and scooping in front of everybody else's porch, girl. Let's talk about the $2 million I ate under my motherfucking pillow, girl, that you owed and owed me, girl, from 2-3 years ago, babe. Okay? See, it ain't no goddamn fun when the rabbit got the goddamn gun. When the mayonnaise people, baby, had them scooped Oprah, girl, up out her own network, baby. Supposed to be highly melanated, baby. Okay, supposed to be ran and owned by all type of afros, girl. Okay, now the colonizers done got a hold of this own network, baby. Oh, a nasty piece of sellout, girl. Okay, and then remember, girl, when the goddamn ancestors came from goddamn Tyler Perry's goddamn whatever that shit he produced, girl, that had them goddamn wigs on sideways, girl, had the wigs girl, he had the women put on wigs on top of wigs on top of wigs, girl. And the public was just dragging Miss Perry, girl. Girl, that good juju has came for everybody who done shitted on Monique, baby. And all Monique is doing, baby, is collecting checks and payouts and motherfucking specials, girl, and settling out of motherfucking court, girl, and dragging these hoes in their motherfucking face and apologizing when the fuck she feel like she needs to, baby. I am here for Monique's nuck and buck ass, unbothered goddamn energy, girl. Her ass is elbowing bitches relentlessly, girl, standing 10 toes down on her shit. And in the end, baby, getting what she want, girl. It might not be on the front end, but on the back end, baby, the conclusion rounds up just nicely. And I'm here for it, girl. I need Monique to teach me that ways, okay? Now, another article from The Guardian, girl, runs that Monique and Netflix reportedly settled lawsuit alleging discrimination, okay? The terms of the settlement between the streaming giant and the comedian and Oscar-winning actor were not disclosed on Wednesday. And when they jointly filed in a Los Angeles federal court for the case's dismissal, Netflix did not respond to a request for comment, and the law firm representing the company in the suit declined comment. Monique's lawsuit said that Netflix officials warmly praised her work before they offered her $500,000. You guys already know that. In contrast, the suit claimed that Netflix was willing to negotiate with other comics and made deals reportedly worth tens of millions of dollars for comedy specials from Chris Rock, Ellen DeGeneres, Dave Chappelle, and Ricky Gervais. Netflix denied the main allegations of the suit filed in November 2019 in a statement made at the time, quote, "We care deeply about inclusion, equity, and diversity, and take any accusations of discrimination very seriously," Netflix said then, quote, "We believe our opening offer to Monique was fair, which is why we will be fighting this lawsuit." Well, baby, that damn show did not age very well. The suit alleged that Netflix violated California's fair employment and civil rights laws and is representative of the major pay inequity in all employment for Black women. Quote, "I have a choice to make," Monique said in a post on her Instagram account after the filing. "I could accept what I felt was pay discrimination, or I could stand up for those who came before me and those who will come after me. I chose to stand up." Monique, whose birth name is Monique Angela Hicks, first gained fame as one of the stand-up queens of comedy and starred in the UPN series The Parkers. She won an Oscar for the Best Supporting Actress for the 2009 film Precious, okay? Now, a lot of people also have been criticizing Monique, saying that, "Oh, girl, you wanted us to boycott Netflix and all of this, and now that you done got what you want, baby, you back working with the same streaming platform," because you guys know that Monique is working with Lee Daniels' girl, who's having to eat his words, okay, who had to apologize to the queen, and they are working on a project under Netflix, okay, and this may be a part of her settlement, girl, okay? It probably was coin and opportunity, okay? So her working on a project with Lee Daniels under the Netflix streaming brand is probably also a part of that settlement agreement, okay? So shout out to Netflix for making things right. Settlement does not necessarily mean that Netflix felt they were wrong. It just meant that they didn't feel that it was worth all of the litigation, all of the bad publicity, especially during this woke culture where Black lives absolutely motherfucking matter, where Black women are rallying for major justice unto themselves in every single way, okay? And Netflix just didn't want to risk misstepping in this situation, girl, and really fucking manifesting a goddamn boycott and cancellation. So they settled with her, okay? And I think, yeah, this is why people voice for boycotting, okay? It's because you want things made right. So it makes sense why Monique would be working back with Netflix, girl. They made it right. This Black woman proved the fucking point that not everybody's going to lay down and take it, baby. That folk going to stand up for themselves. People going to make motherfuckers live their words. Y'all said I was great. Y'all said I was legendary. Y'all said I was one of the best in the biz. Y'all see the motherfucking Oscar, bitch. You see the motherfucking VMA award, girl. You see the motherfucking Moon Man on my shelf, ho. And you got the motherfucking nerve to say all of that and the gas a bitch all the way up to Beyonce level. And then to offer me Brenda money, girl, and offer me box braid coin, girl. You gonna offer me cornrow money, bitch. Not even good HD lace wig coin, girl, but you gonna offer me a Canacolin fiber coin, girl? Oh, no, man, baby. You're going to have to get your shit together, Miss Mama. Okay? Yeah. So she should be back with motherfucking Netflix, baby, because I bet you Netflix will be carefully tap dancing in the name of goddamn love when it comes to another goddamn black male or female comedian, baby. I bet you because of this goddamn experience with Monique, baby, and her ass dragging Netflix by their goddamn ponytails and baby hairs and rat tails, girl, will make them be far more mindful and present, girl, when it comes to their dealings with any other melanated talent, baby. Okay, that comes to them with an idea of who they are considering working with, baby. See, this is the type of goddamn monkey stomping that sets the president, baby. Okay? On period. So I'm happy for this woman. Monique is getting her motherfucking bag, baby. Not giving a motherfucking fucking. I am loving it, child. Let me see what the hell y'all saying out here in these goddamn streets, girl. Let me go ahead and drop this link, too. So you guys can come up here and sound off, girl, because I know y'all, some of y'all don't agree, baby. Y'all ain't feeling Monique, but that's okay. She don't need y'all to feel. That's okay, baby. She don't need y'all to agree, baby. Okay? In order for her motherfucking ass to goddamn settle out of court with the Netflix, baby. Let me go ahead and drop this link. Hold on. Copy. And then let's motherfucking paste it. Hold on. Okay, so that's the link. Mods, if I got mods in the stream, could y'all rotate that link in case Antibody wants to come on up and share their perspective on things? Let me read some of these comments. Let me see here. Where is all the outrage and censorship for male comedians? It ain't there. Crystal says Kiwana loves, if doing all what Monique did was a sacrifice, then she played herself. Okay. Serene says she's supposed to be a Netflix. She's supposed to be in a Netflix movie. I think it's called Demon House or something of that nature. Don't quote me on that. Yes, she is. Produced, I think, and directed by Mr. Lee Daniels himself. Why isn't these black icons and legends being treated that way? Pepsi. Monique has freedom of speech. She can say whatever she wants, period. Okay? By saying if I is not an apology for real. To me, it means your apology is not sincere. Don't believe apology on social media. But see, the thing about that, Caramel, is that I think the if I was appropriate because the daughter, the eldest daughter, when she confronted Monique, she didn't even confront Monique in pain. See, the problem is the eldest daughter came stepping in defensively, saying, hey, basically, fuck you. What you did ain't hurt me, ain't hurt my family. We still living. We ain't losing no sleep, sis. All this over a fucking headliner contract, girl. Bye, sis. And if you in your fifties, girl, I can send you the Addy, okay, for the pull-up. So, and then DL's wife never spoke out. So it was kind of like, well, I'm not sure if these people are alleging that they were hurt. Are they alleging? Because they're saving face, acting unbothered. So let me just say, if anybody was actually hurt, girl, okay, if everybody moved their egos aside, if anybody was hurt, I apologize, okay? I apologize, okay? Because nobody was wanting to admit to hurt. Everybody was wanting to admit to being a bad bitch. What's going on, Kamisha Miller? Can you hear me, darling? Are you there, love? Kamisha? Okay, something going on with Kamisha's audio. Let me drop the link again. Hold on. See, if you want a sincere apology or you want a precise and accurate apology, you got to also make your plight clear, okay? Are you hurt or are you not? Okay. Okay. Kamisha, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, darling? Kamisha, something going on with your audio, boo. Miss Angela, are you there, love?
Hey, boo. Hey,
Hey, hey, love, how you doing?
I'm fine and yourself. Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth and happy Pride Month and happy Father's
Yes,
Day
yes,
to your father and all of the beautiful black men in your life who doing what they're supposed to do and understand the motherfucking assignment. Okay.
absolutely.
What are your thoughts about the Netflix settlement and Monique's some would argue half-ass apology?
Well, I think the apology was definitely sincere. Um, I think it was intentional. The word she used was very intentional, like you were stating. The if was it's if the the people that were supposed to be offended, neither one of those people spoke out, as you stated. You know, and I would think the wife would speak out, what I mean, maybe before the daughter, because maybe, if the daughter was victimized, still not if she was victimized, but still suffering and trauma behind it or whatever, maybe she's not able to publicly speak out, but the wife should be, and I would think she would be like definitely ready to speak out because you're attacking her child and also, indirectly attacking her as well. You know what I mean? But I mean, I think what she did was
I
appropriate because
wonder though. Here is my question to you, Anja. I don't. If I was the wife, I'm not sure if I would demand a goddamn apology because at the end of the day, you are talking about a nigga who had a child out of wedlock on me and kept it away until the side bitch showed up to the airport.
well, no,
I don't know if that would require an apology because at the end of the day, baby, you probably said something about my husband that I wanted to say, but because I'm trying to keep the damn bag my damn self, I ain't gonna press on the issue like that. But I probably would have been rooting quietly, giving her a round of applause. Yes, that nigga is a bitch ass nigga. I ain't forgot that motherfucking shit. I ain't forgot when you was fucking around with Susie, baby, and had a whole motherfucking child.
yeah, I mean, I can understand that aspect, but I mean the overall totality about, the daughter being so traumatized, re-traumatized and all of that. She would, as a mom, you gonna speak out. You understand what I'm saying? We haven't heard nothing from the wife, period. So I just feel like Monique's apology was appropriate because, having her own, traumatic experiences from her, childhood, etc., she would understand what it would feel like to have, to have the trauma brought back up if it's not healed. You understand what I'm saying? So I can get her going out there and apologizing or whatever, and that, but it's not to DL, and I think people need to really understand that she did what was basically right for her. She didn't compromise herself. She's still, standing on this nigga neck. Like, and that's the whole thing. That's the reason why I think she was also able to apologize, whether, I'm saying, it was half-assed or not, just because she had her foot on his nigga, literally, not just on his neck, but up his end, his behind. She, I'm saying, like, it was like almost like somebody had to, I'm saying, say something to like kind of like get her to back off of him. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, every time he opened his mouth, she, every time you open it, I'm going to put something in it because you just keep coming for me. It's not like it was one-sided. It was literally her responding every single time to something that this man was saying or doing publicly and behind, what I'm saying, behind the closed doors, whatever. So, with the Netflix thing, I'm like super happy that it was settled. Because if it would have continued to have gone on, I'm gonna be honest with you, there would have, with everything that was happening or whatever, it kind of probably would have put more too much pressure on her. Like, what I'm saying, I expect when someone is going through something of this like totality, like eventually you're going to explode. We need her to stay just where she at, as level headed as she is, and how she's handling herself. We don't need her to really explode. So I'm glad they did find a settlement between the both of them. You know what I mean? Because now all parties are getting what is needed, and we need the recognition that she brought awareness to. So that, other people that's coming up or that is already a part of the industry, you know what I mean? When one of us get on, what I'm saying, that's, a little bit less of a fight. We still got to fight, but that's like a little less of a fight than we have, what I'm saying? So it's cool.
Right. Okay. understand. Those are great talking points. I'm also happy for Monique when it comes to the Netflix shit. It's really fucking dope. And I know that a lot of people think that Monique re-traumatized DL's daughter. I just don't agree with that sentiment. She used what he put out to prove a point about his character, that he has an issue with really doing the right thing by Black women. Here it is. He didn't believe his underage daughter. Here it is. He cheated on his own goddamn wife. And here it is. He is maligning this Black woman who he was supposed to be friends to and friends with in some capacity. So I understood why it made sense to Monique to reiterate or have that interview be resurfaced, because she was proving a point about his character. She never said anything about the daughter. She never made any remark about her story. She never made any remark about any judgment about the situation. She never even addressed the situation. She addressed DL and his behavior in the situation for those who were confused, because Monique, knows that when it comes to her, nobody's going to believe her. She's always going to be assumed to be the one in the wrong, the antagonist, the one who is the problem, etc. So she started pulling out the goddamn facts of his goddamn life, saying, well, hey, you ain't got to believe my fat Black ass, okay? Because Monique says that, because she's fat and she's Black, it's to be assumed that she should take the goddamn straps. She should be lucky to sit with the goddamn elite. She should be happy to even have access to the space in the goddamn room. So she doesn't get to be the victim. So she said, hey, well, look at this daughter. Hey, look at, well, she didn't bring up the wife shit, but hey, well, she did. Look at the wife situation. This man has a problem with being inconsistently integral to women. And not just me. So I understood the continuity, but I digress. Miss T. Taylor, baby, welcome to the platform.
How you doing?
Hey, love, I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, I missed you.
I miss you as well. I'm back.
I know. I was just like, by the apology now, I was rooting for it. Still am. I'm proud. I'm happy that she did get justice in the Netflix situation. But I mean, you kind of see that this was, huh?
There's something going on with your audio, love.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm gonna come back out. I'm gonna go out. Come back in. Can you hear me now, though?
Hey, welcome to the platform, love. Can you hear me?
Hey, Conscious, how are you?
I am awesome. How are you?
I am peachy. I came in on the tail end. Let me know if my sound is okay before I start going in.
You sound clear and concise.
Thank you, baby. So, listen, I said I stood with Monique in the beginning. I definitely stand with her now. I think the settlement out of court is just due. I was proud that she apologized because it wasn't necessary. All is fair in love and war, but to me, that just goes back to her being, stand up bitch in this regard. Because my thing is, she meant what she said. To the caller's point before me, she apologized to those who she unintentionally hit while in battle. So that goes to the daughter. That's a blanket apology for the mother as well. But she made sure that she emphasized, no deal, I meant everything I damn said. And I stand with her on that. And, I feel like the men who she's constantly trying to teach how to be accountable for their actions, I would love to see them come out and offer their apologies as well. Because DL came for her marriage first. DL brought up the whole Precious thing, and he alluded to the childhood trauma that Monique had as well. So I feel like when you open that box, you never know what's going to come out of it. So you be careful what you say, and you be careful who you step over. I don't agree with that.
It's weird that people are really conflating this whole, like, I really don't understand how people are more offended that Monique shared an interview that he did about something that he put out. And if her opinion is that he felt her, which that was also his opinion, that he felt his own daughter, and she's using this in the context of, y'all don't believe me ever because of what these Black Illuminati elites have done to my reputation. So I can't even count on even using my experience alone to prove a point. So, hey, maybe if y'all see that he's done this to two other women who are probably far more important to him than me, and see how he let them down and betrayed them, then maybe it'll start to make sense, because I'm not able to have my experiences vindicated and validated because I'm Monique. So I automatically get controlled, alt, deleted. And I can't believe how some people are literally conflating her using that interview to prove a point about DL Hughley and making it as if she directed any type of disrespect toward the daughter itself. If it was so goddamn sacred, as I said, DL should have shut the fuck up about the situation altogether. His daughter would not be in a situation to be re-traumatized had he kept her trauma to his fucking self, had he once again be the one to protect his daughter. But just like not believing her then inconvenienced her, he then turns around and uses something that happens to her and makes it about him. And now the situation is public. And 10 years later, Monique is just resharing some shit that he put out. And now she's the fucking bad guy. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, if he is such a, well, I just want to say this and then I'm going to drop. I'm sorry. If he has truly learned his lesson and he feels that remorseful, why hasn't he started a foundation? I haven't seen him become the face of anything dealing with R-word survivors, or I haven't seen him come out and stand up for women in that way. And so to me, that's the way that you would put the trauma behind you as a public figure, because you chose to share this story publicly. If it wasn't Monique, it could have been someone else. So, I mean, the way that you heal the community, you share your experience, you share how you've overcome, and you share that healing with your fan base. I haven't seen them share that type of healing. I don't know. I guess that's just me. I haven't seen that from the Hughleys.
Well, it would have been a good opportunity when his daughter invited Monique, and Monique turned the tables. Like, I will sit down with, your father on his show. That's an opportunity right then and there to bring closure to everything, and more awareness to, the issues that were not just between the two of them, but past issues that each one of them have endured. It's just kind of amazing to me, because I see things differently than most people. I don't see just like what's right in front of me. I always see things from like the surface, deeper. And I feel like these two are caught in this moment in time for the intent and purpose of this situation right here: victimization and trauma, past trauma. That is what is tying them together. And until, DL, because it's really more, even though Monique needs the help, she definitely needs to find the healing that she needs from all of the things she's experienced in her past. But DL does too, because something is definitely wrong that and even the people that are against what Monique is trying to do, there's something wrong with, you cannot connect and see beyond the surface. You know what I mean? You have to see deeper, way deeper, to the bigger picture. And everybody's like really against this woman or whatever. She's a victim too. Like, it doesn't excuse her bad behavior, but like with an adolescent, when a child acts out, is usually because they cannot express themselves. The only way they know how to do it is what's taught to them, if they have not been given the tools to express themselves in a functional manner, right? So with adults, we do the same exact things. You would think that we would have the tools because of our age, but if you've never been taught and you've never gone through the healing process, you act out like a child. So you have two adults. She may not have handled things accordingly the way we all would agree on, but you have two adults that are like really broken and damaged that need to sit down, do the work, and have the conversation. Honestly.
People are literally so fucking biased. Like, the courts do the same fucking thing. Like, it's called character witnesses. Like, literally, motherfuckers are making decisions on whether they're going to go forward and date somebody based upon their experiences and how they treated other people prior to their relationship to them. So I don't know why people acting like Monique did something irrational when vetting people and pulling from people's life experience, okay, to get a sense of how they move and navigate in certain instances and dynamics is something that's far-fetched when that's something that literally all humans fucking do. Well, most humans with any fucking sense. And damn sure human beings who are literally trying to prove a fucking point. So yes, if we want to talk about how bad Trump is and how shitty he is of a president, guess what? Everything else that Trump does comes with that. The way he is with money, his motherfucking bankruptcies, his goddamn marriages, him being on Epstein's flight list, him being a frequent flyer to Epstein's Island, etc. Everything that is shitty and deplorable about his moral character is going to be like, this is what people do, and it's not necessarily wrong to do that if you feel that someone is still perpetrating a fucking fraud or they're still flawed in a particular way. And allegedly, apparently, Monique feels like there's still an issue that DL has with so-called protecting Black women. Now, there was somebody in the chat saying, hey, you know, people need to go find all the positive things that he said about women. Well, that's easy to do. It's easy to talk that good, sweet R&B shit. But the facts are there's an issue with DL actually showing up in his actions, having his actions be aligned with all of that good, sweet R&B shit he talk about women. So nobody cares about what somebody is saying about women when you don't believe women, when you are cheating on women, when you hold the women accountable for what they say about you and your situations, but you feel you can freely speak and criticize this woman about her public situations. It's the whole hypocrisy of it all. DL simply did not and was not able to take what the fuck he dished. Every situation that Monique was in over the course of fucking 7-8 years, he allowed his super soaker, his dick throater, to run. Run. Felt entitled to his opinion, felt entitled to his commentary, felt fucking entitled to. The moment that she starts to waver some fucking opinion and starts to slingshot and return to sender some of that same shit, all of a sudden, she's out of order. She's unprofessional. I cannot accept the fucking bias. Fair is fucking fair at the end of the day. If the car can go forward, as my boy Reckless Logic says, it can go fucking backwards. What's good for the goose is good for the goddamn gander. And if you don't like the heat, then you need to stay the fuck out the motherfucking kitchen when the iron is hot.
Yeah. He's definitely very he's a narcissist. He just, it's, but you don't think there's something to that with him, that somewhere, he experienced that in his life. And because I don't understand how he cannot see, even if he could never come out openly and say it to us, in his actions there would be some change. And I don't see, it's just very combative right now. He's just extremely combative, where it's not even a thought of maybe let me step back and let me see, maybe I did handle this wrong. It's just very much combative. And the thing is,
it is, I don't understand what I don't understand is why he just can't take accountability. Why he just can't say, hey, she's fucking right. She came onto my show. She graced my platform. My co-host said something that was disrespectful to her. And when she brought it to me privately, when she brought her concerns, I basically told her to basically get the fuck over it. And then, yes, I have entitled myself as a public figure, as a fellow comedian, as a fellow commentator and influencer, to giving my opinion freely about her and her quarrels and her situations in the industry, her boycotting Netflix, etc. Boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow. And so even though I don't like the things that Monique is saying about things that I've made public, things that I've said about her, she's simply now taking her opportunity to say some things about me. I don't fucking like it. Fuck her. But yes, she does have the right to fucking say it, and I do understand. What is difficult about that? But to really act but to literally behave like as if Monique is just pulling you out of a barrel, just like doing a random selection and just picking you out of a hat, picking your name out of a hat and going in on you as if you haven't postured yourself as someone who has caught her name like Candyman, and when she finally fucking looks at you, when she finally acknowledges you after you've summoned her forth like fucking African deities, now you shook and scared and running for cover in the room after you put this seance together. You summoned my motherfucking spirit in the goddamn room, bitch. I've been minding my motherfucking business going in on big neck ass fucking Oprah and Miss Tyler and Lee Daniels handling my motherfucking shithole, and you've been over in this corner, okay, doing what you do on my motherfucking name. I didn't have to respond to you at the time you were saying my fucking name. I can respond to you 10 years later. I can respond to your ass 100 years later. I can never respond. I can take it to the grave. I can do what the fuck I want to do. If I want to have a delayed reaction, if I have bigger fish to fry, I miss you talking your shit, I'm going to handle my responsibilities. And if the time allows for me 7 years later to finally get back around to your monkey ass, then 7 years later it is. But at the end of the day, DL Hughley is not innocent in this situation. He's not innocent. You put your mouth on this woman. You disrespected this woman. When she brought her grievances to you, you basically told her that's just the way y'all fucking do things. You have given commentary about her over the years. You never invited her to the platform. You never invited her to sit down and talk to her, always willing to talk about her, even though you had proximity and reach and access to this woman and could have easily brought her into any of the conversations if you needed clarity over what she was fighting for, if you needed clarity about the things that were going on behind her motherfucking reputation. And for a woman who had invited you into her home, allowed you to break bread with her and her family, for you not to have ever afforded her to be at the fucking table, and you have proximity and some access and relationship to Monique, is so fucking disrespectful and wild. And then to just literally play the fucking victim when this woman gives you a fucking ounce of what you gave to her, it's just, you used the perfect word. It's narcissistic. He gaslit the fuck out of her, and she got with that ass.
Yeah. And I think that's where like where the rage in him came out. Like, you know what I'm saying? He started doubling down because like one thing I can give her, she definitely has a way when she comes, it's not a whole just like an opinion thing. You know what I'm saying? Like she's very, very thorough when it comes to the information that she drops. When she tells us things, you know what I'm saying? She's always providing proof. You know what I mean? So it's like the way she comes is almost like a little a legal like somebody in a legal field or whatever. She's always like just very, very legit with her information. It doesn't come from a place of opinion. And I think he really, really, because of what he heard, because I just don't believe that he had actually had a true experience with this woman to keep things going the way that they went. I think he thought because of what she had experienced with the blackballing and all of that her spirit had been broken. And although she still presented some type of fight, I think that he thought he had the upper hand because she was blackballed and he wasn't. He's a man and she's a woman. I think all the things that most men typically think when it comes to a woman, I think he had all of that in him. And he literally just played himself when he realized he put his foot in his mouth. Because I'm gonna be honest. Being as someone that, you know, I'm not going into my story, but being into my experience and being traumatized or whatever, I don't believe the daughter was traumatized. I believe the public was outraged. And so he picked up on that, him or his family throughout, you know, the post, people commenting and things of that nature. And I think they took that and ran with it. Because I still can't believe that this girl was traumatized or re-traumatized, let's say it that way, and still hasn't spoken out. The mother still hasn't spoken out. Like, it's weird to me.
Yeah, it is. Probably at DL's a request. They didn't speak out.
So why would he let the other daughter talk then?
Look, it seems to me that the wife might be one of those quiet, docile, passive women. I mean, ultimately, she kept a man who had an affair on her and had a baby out of wedlock. So maybe, she's a woman who doesn't want to rock the boat, not into confrontation. She doesn't come off with all the things that DL has done with not believing his daughter, cheating on her, and her still retain him as a husband. Look, it looks very interesting. It looks very interesting. And very interesting. I mean, like, could you keep a man like this? A man who didn't believe his own daughter, a man who cheated on you, had a child out of wedlock. I mean, like, this seems to be enough to qualify for a goddamn separation and divorce. I mean, it's kind of weird, actually.
I mean, in total retrospect, she has more than enough because he's definitely out of his own mouth publicly admitted to so many different things. So she definitely, had the balls in her corner. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like, I can't believe it's a whole thing about, control or anything. Like, I just think that, there's something deeper there that we all obviously don't know. And, I think she has obviously the front row seat to this man's life. And there are things that she may see, and have some type of, empathy because, I mean, again, she can't be staying with the man out of fear and money like he's controlling her with the finances and stuff. Like, there's so much out here that she can use and take this man to court and get, run his pockets basically. You know what I mean? Never have to work again. So it's something deeper. And I'm not going to say love does not play a role in it, but I mean, it's definitely more than we know. And clearly, because this man has been on his radio show and even telling jokes on stage. He's talked about his son. Like, your son has mental issues, you're like, it's, I understand, like, most comedians use their trauma, to, as a way to, like, help relieve them. They tell the story, make it. We all know all of that, right? But it's just something about it, like, when he does it, I don't know, because obviously most people do not think that he's funny. There's a few in the world that finds him funny, but most of us in general don't think that he's funny. It's awkward when he's, like, up talking, because I just see beyond all of the laughter. I even see, like, beyond the pain. I just see him directly as who he is, and I just think that he's broken. I can't believe that this man is not hearing what Monique is saying. And now, take away you feeling attacked. You really can't hear what this woman is saying, and seeing that the promoter was even if DL was saying what he said, it's still the promoter at the end of the day. He's the one that hired both of them. So he's the issue. You really refuse to get up off this lady's, like, you're trying to tarnish her name. You refuse to get up off her back and then admit, like, I was wrong. It was the promoter. I shouldn't even feel no kind of way towards you. It was really the promoter, but he won't let up. And I don't know if he's threatened because Monique came back swinging. You know what I'm saying? Her opportunities came back in, and Sis she's taking off already. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never left. I don't know if he's threatened by that. Because, I mean, look, she haven't been booked and busy for years now, right? And he's been booked and busy. What has he done? You know what I mean? That is drawing headlines for himself. To me, it just seems very strategic. Like, you look for a reason to have a beef with this woman to try to keep your name in the headlines. Yeah, you have this syndicated radio show and all of that, but outside of that and Instagram, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, but I ain't gonna stay up here long. I'm happy that you're back. I was having my withdrawal symptoms, but
I'm back like Jack, baby.
I'm glad that you take your vacation.
Yes, I had to take a breather, get me some fresh air, go see the earth, go commune with Mother Earth, and get my life and exist outside of virtuality and all of that. But I'm really happy about that. I think that your talking points are amazing. I agree. I just feel like DL knows. Like, I feel like he's hiding behind the fact that he knows that Monique is the enemy of the state. He knows that it's easier for her to be the bad guy in situations. I feel like DL is fully aware of his own mishaps, and he does hear Monique, but he just refuses to give her that because he don't like the way she went at and came at everything with his wife and the daughter, etc. But as you said, if he was of high emotional intelligence, he wouldn't get blinded by those things. He wouldn't allow the way she presented her plight and the way she expressed her grievance and her anger to be to stifle him. Like, he wouldn't reduce it to just that and still be able to pull back and see the larger picture. And the larger picture here is my nigga. This woman thought you were her friend. Now, whatever capacity that is whatever. But at the end of the day, y'all worked together. Y'all were peers. You broke bread at her house. And of course, like anybody else, she did not appreciate you having so much to say about her, but yet having her phone number and never inviting her to the table so that she had an opportunity to speak for herself and to reason with you and to maybe enlighten you and for maybe you even to enlighten her. There just wasn't a friendliness that was presented on his end. And, you know, I just, why is it okay for Monique's husband to be the butt of a joke between Lee Daniels' unprotected sex and Corinne Steffens with a condom, but it's not okay for Monique to use your wife on stage as a comedian and says she's sucking the dick of a coward? Like, it's so immature and it's just so biased. It's so hypocritical. It's like, you can't possibly think that you're the only person who's allowed to talk shit. You can't possibly think you're the only person who's allowed to be funny or expect to say things and expect it to be interpreted as it's just good humor. It's just me being funny. Okay, so when she said your wife was sucking the dick of a coward, you should have took it as good humor. It was comedy. It was a joke, nigga. Like, Monique literally did to DL what he did to her, but he went and cried like a bitch ass nigga instead of taking it like a real G. Hey, Heart of Inspiration, welcome to the platform, love.
Hey, honey, thank you for having me. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Oh, we missed you.
I know, I missed y'all too. What are your thoughts about the Netflix settlement and Monique apologizing to the wife and to the kids for keeping her foot on DL's neck?
Well, first of all, I'm very proud of her for getting that settlement done. I do think it was done because of the upcoming Lee Daniels production. You know, you can't exactly have someone signing contracts for another production and you still got all this litigation over there. And if I were her, and she probably did, use it as a bargaining chip. So I'm very glad that she did that, and hopefully next time they won't try it. You know, but what I do find interesting on that note is, if you notice, every time they say she was getting paid less than, and they put up like a Dave Chappelle or a Ricky Gervais or, you know, a Chris Rock, they don't put it in juxtaposition with the Amy Schumers of the world, which is who she was saying that she was not getting paid on par with. So I find it interesting that they always want to change, they gaslight it, they want to change, they move the goalpost to make it seem like she's crazy. Okay. When she wasn't crazy, she was saying, I'm just going against these other, you know, the mayonnaise comedians, and her resume is far and away above any of theirs, far and above any of theirs. So that's all she was trying to say. So I applaud that. As far as her apologizing to the family, I'm okay with that. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I was listening in the car on my way home. And I agree with you that, you know, no one's come out and said they were upset, they were offended, whatnot. You know, certainly the wife ain't said, I heard someone earlier say the wife ain't said nothing. Let me tell you something. I'm with her. I think the wife is sitting there happy as can be. I'm with you. She just like, get him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I would be. I would be secretly, you know what I'd be doing? I'd be shooting her some DMs. I'd slide in her DMs and give her some more ammunition. Here goes some more. That's what I would do. But I could be
Monique could do her dirty work for her, honey.
Listen, you know, it's all fair. It's all good. But I'm glad that she did do that, because this is not about the family, but I don't feel like that there was really, she wasn't attacking the daughter. She wasn't trying to re-victimize her. She wasn't trying to re-traumatize her.
And that's what she apologized for.
Right. She wasn't trying to do any of that. And as far as the wife, all she said, she in fact says she felt bad for the wife for having to lay down or do whatever with the coward, with the punk, you know, with him, with this, you know, Negro. So that's no different than anything that I have sat in DL's comedy for years in the stand-ups. That's exactly what he does. And he says the same stuff about men and or women, a lot of times about Black men in the audience. He don't even know these people. And if you know, if there's a man that maybe looks like he's with a woman that might be like out of his league or whatever, you know, I have seen him dog these men out. I have seen him say to these women, "What's wrong with you? Why are you with him?" Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, you must got to turn the lights out and put his bag over his head." You know, just stuff. He'll say all kinds of stuff. He must be paying you real good. So you just got to taste your own medicine. It doesn't feel too good, does it, DL? It don't feel too good. So I'm with it. I'm with it.
About people who are criticizing the "if I hurt you" as an apology. If I hurt you, if I hurt you, if I hurt anyone.
You know, usually for me, that does signify a little like I'm not really sorry. However, I would have put it like something along the line of, you know, there was no offense meant. I would have probably left the "if I hurt you." There was no offense meant. There was no hurt meant. Like, I would have probably just said that. But again, nobody said they were hurt. And certainly not the daughter about whom the daughter he didn't believe and chose a boy or a man or whomever over his own child. So, I mean, I'm not upset. She didn't have to say anything. Let me put it to you like that. So I feel there's validity to it no matter what, because she didn't have to say a word.
Because I'm thinking, well, nobody even really acted like they were hurt because they were too busy being defensive. So nobody just came out and said, "It really saddens me, Monique, that you would use the situation. It really hurts me. And I think it hurts my younger sister." And DL, you know, he just would drag her back or just make insults back. So it's just like, when Monique said "if," I think the "if" was in the context of like, okay, it seems like y'all want to say that y'all are actually hurt, that somebody's hurt in the situation, but nobody's actually saying it. But I'm just assuming, because it's clear that obviously there was breakdown in DL's household as a result of Monique resurfacing that article. I'm sure that the younger daughter probably was upset because her situation was being used and all of that, which, and this is all my assumption, which also then suggests to me that if the daughter was upset that her situation was coming up and was being used as a casualty of war, then that tells me that when DL Hughley initially went to speak about the situation, he might have spoke about it flippantly without there being a prior conversation, because he was making it his own experience. So I'm not even sure if they had a formal understanding between him and his daughter prior to him initially even sharing it. It's because the way it all came up in the initial interview seemed like DL was just being in the present moment and was just sharing. And it is, and it could be implied that, you know, there had not been a real conversation around, you know, him sharing that and really setting the daughter up to be aware of that,
right,
and the consequences thereof. But because it could not have been that this was all healed up as the eldest daughter tried to allude to, oh, we unbothered, well, we ain't losing no sleep. And then I'm just like, well, if y'all unbothered, then why are you here, sis? Like, what you doing?
Why even? Exactly.
Yeah, why you asking her to pull up if y'all so together, y'all so healed up, y'all so holistic, y'all ain't nothing gonna shake, ain't nothing gonna whatever.
Right.
So it like, so I'm just confused about what actually were the dynamics in all of this.
Well, I'm less confused about it because of this. So me, DL, I'll be 54 here in a 3 weeks. So me, DL, Monique, we're all about that same age, okay? And I'm in that age group that is that kind of border between the old school parents absolutely never apologize to kids and all that kind of stuff. And, kids should be seen and not heard and all that. And then, the newer way of, we talk to our children more so and we actually listen and actually value and honor what they're saying, while still being their parent. So I can probably guarantee you that there was no conversation with the daughter prior to the interview. And I would guess, just as my opinion, I would imagine there probably really ain't been no conversation after. And if it has, it's been very kind of, oh, girl, I dealt with that. I apologize. How much more do you want me to do? I can't do any more. Let's just, you know what I'm saying? And just sweep right back underneath the rug because, typically, I guess I could put this on men. I don't want to put it completely, but I'm going to put it on all of us as Black parents. We don't like to be wrong. And we have a hard time, some of us, coming through and apologizing and saying, hey, this wasn't right or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I don't think that there's ever been, I would imagine a real heart to heart, like, this is where you screwed up, Dad. And this is the resultant of what has happened to me. And that may have just reopened that whole conversation all over again. And maybe the older sister was like, I'm just not going to have this. Like, she's the one that's just trying to keep everything, back and at bay. She's going to stand up. Because I found it odd the wife didn't say anything. So if the mama don't say nothing, what you doing?
Yep.
The mama didn't say nothing. That daughter, I think, is the daughter whose situation is an adult now,
mm-hmm.
I believe. And she didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you what I honestly think. Because when DL went to speak about the situation, it seemed like this was something that he reflected on personally. It's not that his daughter called him out per se for not her, but it's something that he realized he did by the way he handled the situation. And if the daughter is upset, what she's probably really upset is Monique is reminding her to actually be mad at her father for something that she's trying to suppress. Like, sis, like, like when somebody brings up some shit
mm-hmm.
and you will use them bringing it up, like you more mad at somebody else for bringing it up than you actually have allowed yourself to be at the actual situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because for whatever reason, maybe you just love your dad and you want to protect his ego and whatever your rationale is for just not have directed all of the way you really feel toward the situation. And so I feel like them focusing on Monique, just resharing it was very like, there's a lot of information in their reaction to Monique simply sharing something that DL made public. And what that tells me is that there was a lot of unresolved here. People have not really confronted DL about the situation. His own child has not really had a real go at his ass about the situation. And she probably is trying not to for whatever reason, but by it being brought up again, probably just reminds her of anger and shit that she is suppressing and that she is keeping down. Because a lot of Black children definitely, and especially when it comes to fathers, don't feel comfortable in confrontation with their father.
No, absolutely not. But I'm gonna tell you something, the dynamic, right? The dynamic is such that there's no space to have that conversation for you to, even as an adult, right? For a lot of us, in a lot of our situations, because what do they say? I pay the cost to be the boss, and da 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 da. I'm the one that's bringing in the money, and now you have somebody like him of his stature that's bringing in a lot of money. Any man that feels comfortable enough to go out and have a baby with the side chick is going to feel comfortable enough that he shouldn't be questioned in his household. Now, I'm just going to put it out there. That's what that says to me. You know, but they don't realize what that does. Like my father used to always say, you know, he brings in all the money and he does this and he does that. As a young adult woman, and still to this day, this is why I will never, ever, 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 never have a situation where a man has more money over and is able to lord it over me. Like if he has more money, fine, whatever. But I'll never be in a situation where I'm so dependent upon you that I can't maintain the lifestyle on my own. You know, that's going a whole nother direction. I'm gonna bring it back. Sorry.
No,
that triggered.
That's another situation too. Like at how much money allows people's like social equity to go up in families, especially in Black families, because I have rich, wealthy people in my own family, and the way that these people are kind of like revered and the way that the family moves around those people is insane to me. I mean, they literally are almost equivalent to fucking deities and gods, and there is no space for you to confront any of the wrong that they do or say or any of their bullshit. And it literally disgusts me at the way that like the perceived power and protection that money affords people socially. And so I can imagine that. So then that makes my little theory and hypothesis about the daughter probably didn't even really confront DL. She probably suppressed most of that because, as you said, he's the breadwinner. He's famous. He's rich. He can change their lives over and over and over and over again for the better. And that probably, and because there is a desire for the things that DL's access and money can provide because of, see, you're gonna make me go into some shit that I really don't want to. I don't want to.
We're not gonna go there today. Let's not go there today.
I don't want to imply, but
because we'll be out here till 2:00 in the morning.
It's yeah. Aniko, welcome to the platform, love. Your thoughts?
I'm glad to hear your voice and your back. Oh yes,
coming down from the sky on Sunday.
I know that's. Oh, you was shooting pool with the planets.
Yes, I'm coming down. I'm coming back to ground level. I'm so happy to be back and happy to see you guys.
Welcome to the ghetto, baby.
Okay, period.
But I was gonna say I actually went through this as well because our family, you know, we went from being middle class to poverty, and I noticed a lot of things. I don't know if we get this from the mayonnaise society, but like when we don't like to speak on things in the public because of bad manners, when you badmouth your family, and the generations having a certain place that they stay in. And for example, I had a family member recently that accidentally butt dialed her daughter, and her older and the daughter heard the guy that she's been with for a long time. She's in her almost 50, and he's calling her out her name, and he's like, you know, talking about what do you do. So the daughter gets nervous and call his mother. She's an older, you know, mulatto lady, and she tells her, "What are you worrying about her for? You're going to be next." So the daughter curses the mother out, the grand, you know, and then her mom gets mad at her, saying, "You should have stayed in your place, and you should have just hung up the phone and called me back." So there is a psychology around certain families that is so toxic that it's not okay to feel or to speak or to put them in a bad light.
no, that's a whole show.
Yeah.
So I would love to get into.
Oh boy, that's why we become the black sheep. Because listen, my podcast gonna be lit.
Yeah. Period.
Mhm.
Wow. Yeah. That's does anybody have anything to say to what Nico just said about
Yeah, no, I was saying
psychology?
me, you know, honestly, I really, really do think the most high for my mom. My mom instilled in me at a young age that I had a right to speak my opinion to anyone, including her. And the only thing that I found wrong with that was that she didn't teach me how to basically utilize that. You know what I mean? I thought I was, you know, I didn't have no respect for anybody. I said what I wanted when I wanted to at any given point in time. I thought I was here to, you know, correct everybody, call everybody out. Because in my family, I noticed like, you know, the ones that had the money that were like middle class and things of that nature, had businesses and things. I noticed that they were the ones that always were like Hasidity. They always talked about everybody else. Never like they always hid their family secrets and things, or whatever the case may be. They were just like held at a higher regard than us that were like struggling or whatever the case may be. But I would see a lot because I was raised by my grandmother and my great grandmother. And I watched and I used to see a lot from the older people, hear a lot and everything. And it was just like I would see things without people even saying it. I knew things and I used to be amazed like how I knew some of the family scandals when nobody told me. And I did not overhear it. I could just read the body languages of people. So I always was one that would just call everything out. Like I could recall my cousins coming to me asking me like, you know, why is this like that? Or, you know, like about their own immediate family. And at first, I used to when it came to my cousins and my generation, I always wanted to protect them, and I felt like, you know what I'm saying, well, you go ask your mom, you go ask this, you go ask that, because I didn't want to live like tell them the issues or what I assumed was happening, and even though what I was assuming was turned out to be the truth or whatever. But I don't know, something inside of me just would not let me close my mouth. I always, you know, even though I had good intentions and did not want to expose things, I just always felt like nothing needed to be covered up.
Yeah.
You have to put it out there because it's no way, like, for instance, without going too heavy into anything, I remember my aunt, my mom's sister, she wouldn't allow me to go over to my great aunt's house unless she was with me. And if I had to go to the bathroom, they would go in like my aunt or her, like her friend, they would stand by the bathroom doors almost like I was in school and I was being monitored to use the bathroom. Right. And I knew what that was about. Right. And one of my cousins, the person that, you know, they were trying to protect me from was her relative, her immediate like relative. And so she kept asking me, why couldn't I come and spend the night at her house? And I'm like, you know, how do you tell someone like your loved one is a pedophile? You know, how do you tell? And then I'm like, you know, I didn't feel like it was my place. I wanted to protect her from that. But then I started thinking like somebody has to tell her, because what if you know, what are the offset chances that she may already know because she's being violated herself? But none of us are talking about it. So nobody knows what's happening. And so, as you said, in some other platform shows, I became the whistleblower, so to speak. And so everybody just literally, I was the kid. I'm talking about being a child though. I was the child that everyone like, you know, she's too grown, she talks too much, you're a troublemaker and things of that nature, because I always would tell everything I saw.
Yeah.
And although I didn't see like the older people in my family, I never saw anyone like, it's like they were protecting the abusers. No one was protecting the ones that were being victims or whatever. But it took my generation, to be honest, to break the cycle. Because there's no way I can sit back and say I love you, Conscious, Nico, or the other man on here. There's no way I can say I love you people, and I see somebody about to harm you or harm somebody that's dear and close to you, and not open my mouth and speak up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the thing
But the
is,
sad
like
thing
with,
about that is I have spoken up for people who've got mad at me and attacked me and told me to mind my business. So it's weird when you have to accept some people's psychology.
It is. Yeah.
and in the Black family too, right? We have this is actually a holdover, right, from slave days. I know people get tired of hearing about it, but it is imprinted in our DNA. And so when we recognize this energy, we got to work on it and get rid of it, right? So we could not, if the mayonnaise master came in and did whatever, or whomever did whatever, it wasn't like we could just jump up and do anything about it. So we were programmed at that point to not say anything, to hide it, because you didn't want the family to get further separated, or somebody to get sold off, or somebody to get beaten, or whatever the case may be. So when we can begin to understand those patterns, and as Mother Ayana says, pathologies, we can begin to address it. Nika, as far as that situation that you were just talking about, we don't, a lot of times as Black parents of adult children, we don't understand how to be a parent to an adult child. And that's a very different dynamic than when they're children. Right. And so that daughter was just trying to protect her mother. And it's a shame that whatever situation the mother was in, she doesn't feel that she could get out of it. And she's not worthy of that protection.
Yeah, and even with what you were saying earlier, it sucks because she knows that her relationship will become jeopardized if she takes a certain stance against her mom.
And it's not even against; it's for. It's against.
The mom would see it as against. Yeah, she would definitely see it as against.
That's the crazy part, right? That's the complete lunacy that we're dealing with.
She blocked her.
It's because the truth tellers in the family make us have to provide answers we actually don't have and never chose to cultivate or attempt to have.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how to simply say, I don't know what to do about this, and actually vocalize that, which gives us the opportunity to actually bring in other people who do may know how to do it. So instead, as a Black people, we just sweep it under the rug when we don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal in the complexity of the situation. And this is what my heart goes, because this is and this is why I always say that Black and brown people are in a very fucked up, bizarre predicament in this country, because you have a people who have been RAPED'd by their oppressors, who have been stripped, pillaged, and reduced to a total conquered people. And then you had the mental illnesses and the bizarreness of that treatment be perpetuated through the lineage and through the generations, while also having, which then leads to Black and brown people, healthy Black and brown people, living amongst and coexisting and cohabitating amongst broken Black and brown people, and then not actually having access to systems and resources that you could trust to deal with your own people, to deal with your own bad behaving people, to deal with your own mentally ill people, because those systems outside of y'all were all racially driven. And so Black and brown people didn't even have any space that was safe. Like, if I do want to do something about the person perpetrating sexual crime, and maybe not this generation of Black people, but previous generations, like, who am I? I'm calling the enemy, the same person that got us in this predicament, to handle, to rectify, to criminalize something that they probably are the authors of to begin with, that this system is the authors of. Like, I think about what was the psychology like if you have somebody perpetrating sexual crime against your children, but you don't, like, what would be the psychology of what to do? Like, I don't know whether Black people also felt, it's just weird, because I don't know whether we felt like we were already failing our children because they lived in a system that was unfair, and then actually reprimanding them like criminals made us feel even more fucking guilty, because they were already in they're already in an unfair dimension. They're already in an unfair version of society. It's almost like like if I'm not giving you deodorant and you're now musky, I can't penalize you for also being musky. Like when you're not, like the situation is set up so we can be fucked up, but we're not fucked up by our own admission. So then I think some people feel like, well, how? Because I don't want to further villainize my children, the people that I love, who are already being unjustly villainized, and this villainization or this demonization is actually turning our people into fucking demons. So then they're acting like they're treated. They're acting like the things that were done to them. And I know, like in my family, like when it came to my uncle who molested quite a few of his siblings, he was also molested. And there was nothing ever done about him and the things that happened. And probably largely because the people who were the victims of that molestation did not speak out until they was well into their 40s and 50s and had children themselves. And these experiences were 30 years, old. And I'm thinking to myself, like, just as a parent, I don't know what that feels like to, like, my son is sexually traumatizing his sisters. I have to protect my daughters from them. But at the same time, my child is a victim of sexual trauma. So how do I apprehend him without also
demonizing him?
Yeah, without making him also feel like he's the evil in and of itself, when he's also a product of a evil that's been projected onto him. Like, I think it's what I'll say to that.
Well, I'm actually dealing with that right now within my family. I'm like, and it's such a really horrific thing, because in this particular side of the family, it's like a generational curse. It is really deep, and it's really like it's like some like TV stuff, like you just wouldn't even believe it. And this particular young man has now had a child, right? He's been victimized himself, and then he became the predator as well. He now has a child, and that is like the big thing going on currently, where everyone, they want to contact child protective services, and I'm like, has he done anything? Like, no, he hasn't. I'm like, well, he needs counseling. That's the first thing. I don't know why in our community, everybody's not a Christian, but whatever your spiritual beliefs are, religious beliefs, the first thing people do is run towards spirituality. But we have to understand that doctors are here for a reason. Those that go to school and become, licensed to practice and all of that, they are here for a reason. Our spirit needs to be healed, but guess what? Our physical and our mental and our emotional needs to be healed as well. That is an open wound. That is a different type of wound that can leave a whole lifetime of pain if it's not, treated and healed. And so with my cousin, I'm trying to work with him because everybody has, like, he feels like the outcast, which is making him lash out more and doing other things that he's getting involved in. And it's really crazy because no one is seeing the bigger picture. And that is this young man needs help. Like, instead of demonizing him, we need to love him. Loving him and accepting him does not mean that we accept what he's doing. And you can correct the person. Listen, I hope that he can change himself. I believe he can, because I got help for myself and it helped for me. So I'm hopeful for him. But I think the first thing is getting that person to get help professionally.
I think one of the
or we need like a lot of advocacy and a lot of visibility in our medical community of other Black and brown people, because I believe, Heart of Inspiration, that we have something going on in our cellular memory as it relates to mayonnaise folk and any system that they create. And we have everything from the Tuskegee experiments to, we have a long history of being deceived, mistreated, and exploited even by our medical community. And this is what I mean by Black and brown people are in a very precarious predicament in America, because we also side-eye the systems that are supposedly in place to help us, to assist us in our mental. But then when you think about the face of those institutions, which is mayonnaise-ness, I think that it triggers a cellular defense mechanism that, you know, I'd rather stick to my Jesus or stick to my God. I don't trust them mayonnaise folk in that way. We don't know what they're doing to our brains. White America hasn't even atoned for their own fucking crimes and sins against Black America. Their forefathers are the perpetrators and authors of this confusion and this trauma and this evil and this mutation that's in the Black experience. And yet they have their lips closed and then have the audacity to offer themselves up as doctors and lawyers and psychologists for us. Like, it's just so I feel like we're in a freak show in America. Like, it's a freak show.
Well, we are in the position where we have been captivated or been made captives by the very people that we created. I mean, I don't know, you know, any other way to put it. It's such a well-known fact, having, you know, been studied biochemistry and been in this kind of arena for so long. Our DNA is different. That's just a fact. Our DNA is different. Our stem cells, you know, from conception, they morph into whatever cell needs to be in whatever race and ethnicity. The other races and ethnicities, stem cells do not do that. They do not behave the same way.
Where exactly do they come from? Because I'm hearing fruit flies, canine, chickens, and all kind of, you know.
What
mayonnaise people? Where do they come from?
Child, that's a whole conversation. I don't want to be called young Pharaoh ass here, so I'm just gonna leave that alone. And we'll talk about that.
In some African mythologies, it said that we actually created them, that they are
yes, we did.
Almost like a Frankenstein experimentation.
Or some people believe that because of migrating further north and then not returning, that at some point the the lack of sunlight. There's others that say that it was much like you're saying, kind of Frankenstein, could be other star races. There's a whole lot of theories behind it.
I'm glad you said star races, Hearts. I heard a story about galactic planets that had openings and access to this planet, and they were able to plant them here somehow and have them form. And it was like the portals being closed. They figure out how to manipulate the longitude, latitude of the galaxy. Or does that resonate with you?
To a certain degree, yes. But wow, do you want to go this route, Conscious? Are we going here?
I got questions.
Are we going here today?
These are definitely whole shows in and of themselves.
I'm telling you, I was trying to get that booking with you because I got questions.
Oh, well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, the short version, the Cliff Notes. There are some that say that mankind was created, or our current version that's able to hold light, aka able to hold spirit, was created as a result of star races coming here, and over tens of thousands of years, about a 52,000 year cycle. then we were reduced from 26 different versions of Homo sapien to the one we see today that can actually hold light, which is why you see Neanderthal man and this man and that man. They were different versions, much like you'll have different breeds of cats, of lions, and there'll be lions and tigers, and there'll be cheetahs and all this. That was a similar situation with humanity. And then there are others that say in the midst of all that, then there were reptilians that also, a reptilian race that came and helped to create the mayonnaise. So that's a very, very, very shortened story of one of the many that have been told. But definitely there is something drastically different with melanated people. The more melanated you are, the closer to the original creation that you are, the stronger your DNA is, the more you are able to absorb light, right? Mayonnaise can't go out and absorb light. We go outside and actually absorb it, and it activates things within us energetically and spiritually. This is why the mixing of the races was so important to them, because it dilutes us as a people, as a race.
As Nubians.
Huh?
As Nubians.
Yes. So, I don't even know where we were. You went off on a whole.
You know why I mentioned that? Because like when we was talking about earlier, kids being seen and not heard, I heard that melanated children, carbon children that are born with keys to certain portals. So those lizard things or whatever, that's why we're taught to not be the parents we are needed to be. That's why you understand, like it's way deeper than what we're giving it credit for. So it's like oh man, okay, I'm gonna stop because I'm just gonna keep talking.
Well, and even this is interesting. You bring that portal up because we have to understand as melanated women that we are the portal of life. This is why the Ankh is created fashioned the way it is. The top represents the womb, the bottom represents the male counterpart, and then the cross in between represents the crossing, the union of, and then the crossing through the portal of all life. In actuality, and I don't mean to offend anyone, so please you'll get offended. The cross itself is a
symbol of death.
Yes, thank you. Symbol of death, and it is derived from the Ankh. So and I am an ordained Christian minister. Okay, so whatever. But the more I understand about this whole thing, if you go back and you actually do study Kemetic and then hear indigenous spirituality, you will find out that everything in that King James version is a change up, a bastardization of, if you will, what came from ancient Kemet. So the Ankh is actually a symbol of life and life-giving, and it represents a gateway to heaven on earth. That's what that represents. And yet when we were forcibly brought here or captured here, depending upon your perspective, that was completely removed from us. Why? Because if we understood who we are and what we actually possess within our very self, within our very being, we would be completely unstoppable. So when I hear this, what pains me is when it's time for us to call a spade, a thing, people like a Monique or whomever, they're vilified and they're strung up by the very same tree that the mayonnaise people would hang them up from, by our own, because we don't want to deal with our own. When we have generational issues of this of abuse in our families, not only does the current generation need help, but can we actually openly say this person was abused by this person and that person was abused by that person? What cannot be spoken cannot be healed. You cannot break a curse or a chain or anything unless you break it. You got to speak. The world was created by word. You have to speak in order for it to be broken. We got to start owning it and then saying we're going to deal with it within ourselves, because some of those very same counselors are mandatory reporters. And the last thing we need, right? Counseling is great. I love it. It's awesome. It helped me. But the last thing we need is then for the person that was abused to then end up getting mandatorily reported and then put in the system, and they're never going to get any help. Okay, I'm done. I'm off. I'm off behind my pulpit now. I'm gonna close out.
We are
The doors of the church are open.
I say.
We're going to come back next week and open up a conversation about this for sure. I think there's a conversation that needs to be had and divulged in. And indulged in, and people are really here for it in the comment section as well. So this needs to be one of our next shows next week for sure. I do have to get out of here. Do you guys have any remaining thoughts on the situation at hand?
Monique handling business.
All of it. She handling all the business. I'm really happy for her, and I ain't even mad. Anja. Is it Anja?
Anya.
I'm gonna get that right. Any remaining thoughts on the situation?
It's good to have you back, and looking forward to our next topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Ladies, everybody's opinions and commentary. It was fun, and just like I said, looking forward to talking to you all again.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here, love. Your talking points were amazing. And yes, we will return this week. Me and Reckless will be back tomorrow for sure. We got some things. We got some loose ends we got to tie up tomorrow. So y'all definitely be in the building tomorrow evening or night at some point. Part of Inspiration, I need to call you so we can go over what we was going over days ago.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any remaining thoughts on the topic at hand?
But can we just love each other and stop trying to vilify a woman for speaking up or a man for speaking up and standing up for herself? We gotta do better. Absolutely. We gotta do better. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I tell my own children that if you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm gonna still love you. But if you're wrong, you're wrong, and we just gotta call a thing, and so we can heal.
Yes, I agree. But thank you for being here, Heart. I'm gonna give you a ring-a-ding-ding for sure.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you for blessing the platform. You guys make sure to subscribe to Heart of Inspiration over on YouTube, honey. She does it all. Okay. Follow her, look her up into the YouTube search, honey. Give her a subscription and then click in the view and tune in, honey. She does astrology. She does it all. She builds businesses, honey. It's just nothing that you can't get out of this woman. So you guys to get her in your life. Okay. Heart of Inspiration on YouTube. Thank you for being here, love.
Thank you for having me again, dear.
Of course, boo. Nico, any remaining thoughts, darling?
Love you guys.
When did you ever send me your phone number?
I put it in the chat.
You put it in the chat?
I'm about to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, put it in the chat so I can screenshot it. If you guys are in the building, thumbs up from me. And thank y'all for being here. I know everybody don't agree with Miss Monk. Okay, I got it. Let me screenshot it right now.
All right, love you. I'm about to cash app you.
All right, babes. We're going to continue this conversation, you guys. It always gets deep over here, and I love it. Let me save Nico's number. Hold on. Paste. Where is paste at? As far as Monique, I'm happy about her and Netflix situation. Monique has been through a lot. It's really nice to see a Black woman get some sense of justice, to get some sense of relief, especially after people have admittedly did her wrong, and I'm happy to see happy to see her doing what needs to be done. I did not understand Monique initially because I didn't know a lot about her when she first came on the scene with the Netflix thing. I did know her from the Parkers and I knew her from the Queens of Comedy, but you know, we've had an opportunity to really get to know Monique over the past 2 years, and I'm really proud of her. I would like to see other Black and brown people honestly be unapologetic. I think that it's time for us to stop being so politically correct. I think it's time for us to start speaking truth to fucking power. I think it's time for us to start demanding what the fuck we deserve and what the fuck we owe, and to make people live out their fucking words. I think that it's just time to take the mask off, all hands on fucking deck. It's time to crank the fire up in the goddamn kitchen, and Monique is doing that, and it's inspiring. I'm fucking here for it. I love that she's fucking leveling up. I love that she understands the assignment. I love that she's willing to take her L's. She knows that what she's doing is rough. She knows the consequences thereof, and she's just going to push her way through because she believes in what the fuck she's doing. And I think we all should follow suit and be more vocal and even be more aggressive at times. We are not going to get where we need to be by being passive as hell, by being timid and quiet and laying down and taking it. We've done it, and it just does not fucking work. It's just time to seize the kingdom through fucking aggression at this point. Okay? So I'm here for it. I'm happy for Monique. I'm glad that Netflix resolved the fucking issue. And I look forward to everything that Monique got going on, girl. I'm going to be coming back to you guys next week with a bunch of commentary. I'm happy to be back, y'all. Keep me in your prayers. Keep your candles lit, baby. Stay safe, stay bold, stay Black, stay honest, stay not giving a fuck for all the right reasons. Thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you fucking new here. And I love you all. Good night.